Slowly drifting, wave after wave, wave after wave, slowly drifting, and it feels like
Alright guys, this is CEE. Quick doco I'm doing for the Oz project. Big shout out to Justin, you're doing an amazing thing. Let's do this and do something positive. A lot of people are scared to air their dirty laundry to the public. That's not something that I'm afraid of, especially when I get so many encouraging messages in return. So it's something that's really worthwhile. It was bringing on a lot of anxiety and psychosis for me. It was only in the last few weeks that I really realised that. I used to smoke so heavily from morning till night that I never took a break, and it wasn't until I cut down that I realised the only time I went a bit, anxious, paranoid or loopy was straight after I'd smoke. As soon as I'd smoke, my head was probably the worst was when I was still on heroin. As I wrote in part 1 of my story, I ended up admitted to a psychiatric ward. They thought I tried to take my life. I just self-harmed incredibly bad, and that was something I struggled with for a long time. I ended up getting close to 150 stitches and having to have microsurgery to reattach nerves, so that was a huge wake-up call for what drugs could do. Person, like I had a new lease on life. I was on a pharmacotherapy program, which is basically a methadone clinic, although that's not the only medicine that they prescribe now. I was on something called Suboxone, and honestly I think that medication saved my life. And not only does it take away the physical withdrawals, but it actually blocks your opiate receptors, so if you're to ingest opiates while on Suboxone, you basically put yourself into the worst stage of withdrawal you can be in, and so that for me was a big deterrent from relapsing while on that medicine. Basically, having to change so much in my life for a long time, drugs was the only way I coped. If I was happy, I was on drugs. If I was depressed, I was on drugs. Partying, I was on drugs. Bored at home, I took drugs. So it was, a lot of it was about finding another outlet, which is music for me now, and finding positive people I could surround myself with that their lives weren't real. Yeah, I've had friends lie to me about parents passing away, car accidents, home burglaries, you name it, they've told that lie, and it is the addiction, but at the end of the day you can't help those who don't want to be helped. I wanted to put my life in a better position, and I couldn't hold myself back forever just because I may lose a few friends.
Where the hustle is everything. Without a hustle, man, you'd be left without a fucking thing. Different hustles, dependent on your lifestyle. Could 9 to 5 it, or you could live your life wild. Just know with every trial comes consequence, and it's up to you, man, how you face the test. To be yourself, or end up like the rest. Or end up like the rest.
slowly drifting, wave after wave, wave after wave.
My missus has helped a lot. My partner's been probably the most helpful person in my life and stood by me through my darkest hours. My mum is a saint. I don't know how she does it and how she copes with me. And I have some really good uncles and aunties that are hella patient. I don't know how many people know about this, but there's a thing called mindfulness, and it's just all about basically being able to detach yourself sometimes from the situation and look at it from a different view instead of letting your emotions run that. Still something I'm working on, but it's something I try and practice. And music's really important to me because I can just vent everything I feel, and if I don't want to record it or release it, I've at least got those emotions out.
Was it the blue?
Hell yeah, I'm doing it. I have almost 2.5 weeks clean, and for some that might not be a lot, but for me that's a huge thing, and if I've gone this far then there's absolutely no reason to go backwards. That's a hard one. I think I want to be successful in music, but not for the reasons that everybody else really does. I want to help people. I more want to do some sort of like youth-focused work with my music as opposed to being famous. That's not really what I'm after. When did I learn my illness didn't define me? That's a tricky one. Only recently, really. It took me a long time to realise that I could be more than just erratic or emotionally unstable or left of centre. I'm a person first, and those illnesses don't define me. They're characteristics within me, but that is not who I am. As an entity is basically you're always reliant on multiple substances, you're always addicted to more than one thing. So for me it was either weed and crack, weed and smack, ecstasy and drink, whatever it was. I was always on more than one thing to try and numb the pain and run away from my problems, which is probably one of the only regrets I have. I look healthier, I feel healthier, I wake up in the morning and don't feel like I've been hit by a truck. I can think more clearly. I'm able to focus more on my music. There's just positive after positive. Got to buy 2 new pairs of kicks today instead of buying some useless pot. So it's all positive.
Since I started fucking with her, and all my friends done left me cause they jealous that I'm with her. I tried to break it off, but she gets me back with the feel after everything she did. Why the fuck do I love that needle? Please help me.
Twice I turned my back on you. I fell flat on my face but didn't lose.
Lord, this love's killing me, literally. Every time I start to pick you up, you finish me. Used to love waking up in the mornings and feeling you. Now I'm just ashamed, wearing long sleeves, concealing you. Bitch, you wasn't shit.
Big shout out to my girl Eliza for filming this, and a big shout out to Dills Perez for the cut and edit. Thanks for saving me, bro.
Tie it up, stick that shit up in my skin and overdose on your love.